in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. It's your favorite potty, your boy OG Big Meaty, with another episode of Uncommon Nonsense. You know the podcast is leading the way in this common sense revolution. Today's episode, y'all, we're going to go over Trump's joint congressional speech. We're going to go over the Democrats' response, the lousy losing left response. Once again, they're kicking a lot of platitude and slogans and not addressing no plan. No solution. So without any further ado, y'all, we're going to get right into it, and we're going to look at this clip of our president, Donald J. Trump, giving his first joint congressional speech. And boy, is it a woozy, y'all. So get ready.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Just getting started, y'all. Let go.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
You heard that? You heard that? I could feel the optimism. I could even see it in my left pundits. I can see it on their podcast. I can see it on legacy media. I can see like they don't know what to do with all this success. Like, it's just absolutely amazing that this man can come in for less than 2 months and destroy these murderous, devastating policies, can root out the abuse, the fraud, and the waste in our government. How this man and his administration can tackle these things in less than 2 months. It seems almost unbelievable. In fact, let me touch on this before I continue, guys, and I promise you I'm not going to interrupt so much because this is a long clip. But I got to touch on this because it stood out to me tonight while me and some friends of mine were watching the speech. It really stood out to me because my friends kept asking me, those who've been living under a rock, who's not, so much into politics as I am, asked me when Trump was naming all these actions, all these things he have done, all these accomplishments he made in the less than 2 months he'd been in office, they kept saying, is he really doing that? Did he really do that? Did he really stop this? Did he really do that? And I'm like, yeah. What the hell y'all been living under a rock? And it made me realize something. Because the level of doubt that was in the room, it made me realize something that, this shit is unbelievable what Trump is doing. This is why you got the loser leftists on every TV show, on every legacy media program, screaming Trump's a lie. Because it's so easy to believe that he's lying because it's so unbelievable what he's accomplished in such a short period of time. I mean, this was really an epitome for me when I was talking to my friends. I'm like, wow, you know what I realized? Is that for so long, America's been aware of the waste, fraud, abuse, the line, the power positioning of our politicians. We've been aware that our government has been psyoped by the bureaucracy, by unelected officials, by billionaires, by whatever you want to call it. You want to call them the Illuminati. We've been aware of this for a very, 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 very long time, to the point where we started to believe that it's impossible for someone to come and rip the grip, break the shackles of the deep state from our lives. And then for Trump to come and make it look so easy is almost unbelievable. So that's why the liberal narrative is to call him a lie, call him a lie, call him a lie. And later on in this video, we're going to get to that when we get to the Democratic response. We're going to get to them how every counter argument about what Trump is doing is he's lying to you guys. 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 I get it now. This shit is unbelievable. It's easy to convince us that he's a lie because in our mind, we thought this change couldn't happen. Oh, but let me reassure you, this shit is real and this shit is happening, America. And I'm telling you, man, let's go, Mr. President, man. Keep up the good work. Because contrary to what any of them saying, this is exactly what the American people elected you for. And I'll be honest with you, some of your most stark supporters, as I am, was a little doubtful that it can get done because we understood the magnitude of the challenges. And for you to come in and make it look so easy, kind of make you question, man, all the platitudes and slogans of the Democratic Party. Like, why the hell y'all ain't been doing this when we rendered control to you guys? Why have none of these actions ever been taken under you guys' leadership? And not just the Democrats, the traditional Republicans. You motherfucker, Mike Johnson is sitting behind President Trump. You all motherfuckers are career politicians. You motherfuckers are under the same you people are under the same bureaucratic control and capture. That's all the Democrats. This is not a conservative movement. This is a MAGA movement. This is an American first agenda. This is American first movement. And it is a common sense revolution. We're bringing common sense back to our fair republic. Man, thank God thank God for President Donald J. Trump. Let's go, y'all, so we can get beyond this. Now, of course, this is the part when the Democrats lose their mind, lose their decorum, and get kicked out of the congressional chambers. I mean, come on, people, man. Be professional. I mean, it's that same sentiment. It's always that same sentiment. Hate Trump, hate progress if it's not from us. Tear down anything we build if it's not built by the liberals. Stop the madness, man. And later in this show, we're going to get to the point where these people are you can tell these people are so anti-American, where it almost seems insane or evil. Because there's nowhere in the world a countryman or countrywoman should hate their country to the magnitude that these liberals do. They don't care who's hurt. They don't care who's collateral damage. As long as their agenda is fulfilled, as long as their pockets get fat, as long as their lives are not interrupted, they don't care who suffers. In conjunction to that objective, they don't give a fuck who suffers. And all my fellow Americans, who do you think is suffering the most from these failed liberal policies and politicians? Who do you think suffer the most? Do you think it's Donald Trump? Do you think it's J.D. Vance? Do you think it's Mike Johnson? Do you think it's Elon Musk? Do you think it's Mark Zuckerberg? Do you think any of these people suffer from these failed policies and these pussy-ass platitudes and stupid-ass slogans that's being pushed by these Democrats? Do you think any of them suffer? Do you think any of those Democrats, those congressional Democrats, do you think any of them suffer? Do you think any of them get Medicaid or Medicare or Social Security? No. We, the people, are the victims here. Like they are, oh, man, they're hijacking our freedoms, y'all. And they're putting it behind platitudes and slogans. I mean, they're professional in their platitudes. They're professional in their slogans. A whole bunch of promises, no plans, and no substance. Let me say that to you again. A whole bunch of promise, no plans, and no progress. That's been the mantra of the Democratic Party for generations. And they've been getting away with it because we have a failed mindset. We have a failed mindset in impoverished communities all across America where platitudes and slogans and promises works for us because we have faith in our politicians. And over and over and over again, they disappoint us. That stops now. This is the common sense revolution that's being led by our president, Donald J. Trump. Let's get him, Trump.
For the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
I'm so optimistic about America's future, y'all. So optimistic, especially for Black Americans.
A 41-point jump.
Time to go.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Now look at Congressman Al Green. First off, just to name Congressman Al Green. Oh man, I'm not gonna even go there, bro. But I'm starting to realize, man, where you're getting a lot of misinformation, a lot of bullshit is coming from these antiquated Black leaders, whether it be in civil rights leaders, whether it be political leaders, whether it be corporate leaders. Like, I'm starting to get a consistent narrative of these people and their scam on Black America. Like, the more I see Trump succeed and the more I see them rebel against the success of this country, leads me to believe that these people have just been scamming us from the start. And I'm telling you, you can see them coming. They all are balding. They all got their hair slicked back to hide the balding. They're all overweight and they're all walking up to you with some type of con to offer. Like, I mean, these people, they got canes. I mean, these are the pimps of latter years. Pimping politics, pimping a race. And it's ridiculous, man. It's just sad to see.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Look at him. No decorum. Just look. This is in the congressional chamber. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Members
Hey,
are directed to
hey.
uphold and maintain
Goodbye.
decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Na 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 na.
This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy.
Like, it's I love how Trump addresses this. Like, I love, like, because he has reached the same conclusion that I reached. It doesn't matter how good America is doing. These people are going to find something wrong with America. It doesn't matter how well or how good of a job Trump is doing. It doesn't even matter. Like he can be ending poverty. It doesn't matter. Like, they're going to still find something wrong with it, man. So anti-American, man. These people are. It's just sad, man. Let's continue.
Or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way. For just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Now, this is a simple ask. Like, let's just all celebrate the progress that America's making, and let's start working together to get us further. This don't just include, I am a nationally elected official. President Trump has to serve all of America. So let's work together, and let's even target some of the problems that's within your constituency. Let's do this as a team. Let's do this in a pro-American fashion. Let's not do this in a discriminatory, in a preference way, or none of that. Let's make this fight about all America. This is the common sense agenda, America. Let's no longer separate people by gender, race, creed, ideas, principles, personal values. Let's not let that type of shit erode or corrupt our government any longer. Let's do what's right for all America. It's simple.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military.
Right off my point. Let's stop these discriminatory practices in our government, in our private sector, in our life. Let's let every individual be judged on their own individual merit, their own individual character. Let's stop allocating blame or to race, to sexuality. Let's stop saying you're not successful because you're black, so you need help. You need a program to help you because being black, you're incapable. If you don't get help and support, you're not gonna make it. That stop feeding that victim narrative into the minds of young black men and women. Because they believe in this shit and they're not making it. So let's stop feeding this narrative in our minds that racism is the barrier that's stopping us. It's not. If there's any barrier that's stopping us, it's the fact that we are anti-American. Our culture supports an anti-American narrative. So we can't possibly participate in the American dream if we're hating America. And this goes to my point, the dysfunction of our culture, the dysfunction of our country, and the dysfunction of that fucking liberal ass agenda. Because this is what's pushed dearly, a fucking victim narrative in policy, in politics, in socialism, in social life. These are the narratives that's pushed by the losing ass, leftist ass party. No more DEIs, no more, because sister, if you is a DEI and if you're not a DEI, if you absolutely 1% climb the corporate ladder through merit, there's nowhere in the world you should have a program that exists that can demerit your success. If you have a DEI program exists, no one knows whether you're a DEI hire or whether you was hired on your merit. But if DEI don't exist, then there's no question that you're capable of climbing these corporate ladders on your own sinew and on your own fucking hard work. Let's go, y'all. Yes, sister. It goes for you too.
Will be woke no longer.
Failed ass woke agenda. Just ridiculous.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender.
Amen.
Very important.
Amen. Whew. Finally.
You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well needed
We
decision.
have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Now, when I was watching this with my people, and they trust me, man, these people not into politics, so they don't know really what the hell's going on, man. They into like trying to figure out their fucking next move. And it was astounding for them that the president of the United States of America had to make this announcement at a joint congressional speech. Like, when we are questioning the obvious, we are so fucking lost. It's obvious that it's only two genders. And for that to be called into question shows you the debacle of the American culture. It shows you the corruption of the American culture. When I have to sign an executive order confirming that there are only two genders, male and female, I had to sign an executive order. Come on, America. Like, We're going down this woke ass road that only leads in disaster and devastation. Let's go.
An executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Again, why do I have to sign an executive order for that?
Created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
I gotta give a clap for that. I gotta give a clap for that too. Let's go, Elon. Let's go. Let's go.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Elon busting them things at all this waste and abuse and fraud. That boy ain't playing. He on their heels.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe.
And look, they don't even appreciate this man.
Just listen to some
finding
of
waste,
the appalling
fraud, and
waste
abuse in government.
we have already identified. $22 billion
Look at this
from
litany of
HHS to
bullshit.
provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens.
Illegal
$45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million
Where the hell
to
is that at?
improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
Listen, promote LGBTQ+1 in Lesotho, Africa. If you don't know who Lesotho is, it's like a small country within South Africa. It's like real mountainous, real high up. Beautiful place, beautiful place. But we know that Africans tend to be more conservative and anti-LGBT and all this. Why are we spending money to promote this in their country? Like, are we trying to psyop all Negroes' mind? I mean, you already got the American Negro mind captured, Democrats. You woke liberal losers. You guys already got the Black American mind sewed up and wrapped up and in shackles. That's not even enough for you. You guys got to go to the motherland and distort and corrupt and corrode their culture. And us black folk at home, us black folk in America, is not even concerned. We booing the fact that we slashed and cut and stopped spending of LGBTQ+1 initiatives in the motherland. So what are we now? We a culture of gay folk? Get the fuck out of here, man.
$60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
This is true.
This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created decarbonization of homes committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop that there. Because he just brushes past this, but it's a lot of shit to unpack in this shit. $1.9 billion was handed over to an organization that's headed by Stacey Abrams in Georgia. If y'all don't know who Stacey Abrams is, she was a gubernatorial candidate for Atlanta who lost, I think, twice, if I recall right. I think she lost twice. But she was the organizer for the Get Out and Vote campaign for Biden in 2020 against Trump. So she was responsible for the organization and knocking on the doors to getting all those votes out in Georgia that cost Trump Georgia. And the reason why I give y'all that historical narrative is because I want y'all to understand, like, okay, now, she just got $1.9 billion from the federal government into an organization that's meant to decarbonize housing for the poor communities, I guess, in Georgia. Now, the facts of this organization is that this organization has never made a profit, only had $100 in their bank account when they received this. First off, this organization was no longer than 2 years old, only had $100 in their bank account when they received this $1.9 billion grant from the federal government. Now, if that doesn't smell like a kickback, if that doesn't smell like, okay, we're finna leave, and they just did this right before Biden got out of it. They rushed this through before Biden got out of it. That's not you owe me one. You owe me one. And in the sum of $1.9 billion. Do you understand this? In the form of, they gave this organization that had no track record of even participating in the category of environmental control that they were in. They had $100 in the bank account, y'all, and received $1.9 billion of federal funding just before Trump was inaugurated. Now, I know for sure that this shit happens all the time because I done had government contracts and I done had to give a few kickbacks and we done negotiated some terms and some shit. Trust me, I done been there, done this. I know for sure that $1.9 billion that was allocated to this social program, that got to get chopped up. They're just not handing Stacey Abrams $1.9 billion because she handed Biden Georgia, and ain't no telling how much fraud and corruption was involved in that. But there's nowhere in the world we're paying you $1.9 billion to do that. So we're going to give you this $1.9 billion, and we're going to need you to disperse that among this list of people. That's what's happening here, y'all. And I know that sounds far-fetched, but I promise you, I've witnessed this shit personally. I'm telling you, that's how our government is functioning. I mean, anytime you have a budgetary appropriation going to a program or to an agency, like you're getting a shitload of money. There's no list of what you're supposed to do with this money. This money is just allocated to this agency. Once this money is allocated to this next agency, the next billing period, that money have to be spent. So what happens if you didn't spend that money? What happens if you got $1 billion of congressional funding and you still got $200 million left? You have to spend that, because if you cut that through the next budget reconciliation bill, which you're gonna have Congress, they have to appropriate less to your agency next time. If you have $200 million left, now we only gonna give you $800 million. We're no longer giving you the $1 billion annual budget. So people rush out and they hand out this, man. They like, man, I need you to start this organization. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to create this type of subsidy to your business. I need you to do that. So then you qualify for this money. We can give you this money. We can give you this money. If I get you this money, just give me 30% on the down low. That's what's happening in our government. This is tax. See, I know it sounds like this is just terribly managed and shiesty government officials. No, this is not. This is a complete apprehension of our government and its ability to serve the people. These are taxpayers' dollars. The government doesn't produce any products that produce value. Their money is from taxation. So anything they're doing it with your money. So this is a great way to rob from Peter, who is us, and to pay Paul, who is them. And boy, have they been doing it for so long, and boy, have they got wealthy in the process. Because I'm talking some of these congressional Democrats and some of these congressional members is making 100 to 200,000 a year, and since they've been members of Congress, them people, they wealth have ballooned. They are worth 30, 40, in some cases 100, 200 million dollars all the time while they've been serving as politicians, as public servants. I mean, how do you explain that? You know, I mean, you don't even want to really unravel that because that is crazy. But let's finish this.
A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. You know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves. $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated.
This is not Trump. This is not Elon. This is not Doge. This is not. This is an independent federal office who estimated how much fraud, waste, and abuse is in our government spending. Check it out, y'all. And this is annually. I don't want you to think that this is over a large period of time. This is how much waste, fraud, and abuse in our government spending annually, yearly.
Estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly.
And what's crazy about this, Elon said it on Joe Rogan. He's like, what's crazy is all of this ain't fraud and abuse. Some of it is just waste. Some of it is just complete incompetence. Some of this is just people not doing their job. It's just so much of it. It's so much of people just not going into the database and say, okay, let's empty these names. These people can possibly be alive. They can possibly be dead. And in some cases, these checks are still being issued out. Some of these people are on electronic payment systems. So long if don't nobody go get it closed down in the bank, if don't nobody get their bank account closed down, this money keeps going in there monthly. Monthly. Whoever got access to their ATM card or that bank account gets this money. Now, who's to say who's actually getting money from this? But the fact that we have people, we have categories, millions and millions of people still under the Social Security database that are clearly not still alive at 140, 150, 250 years old. Why are their names still in the database? Remove them from the database so we can monitor where the fraud and abuse is in Social Security. Because if Social Security is such a poignant and important program for America, why wouldn't we want to monitor and scrutinize it so it stays solvent? If it helps so many of our disabled and so many of our, if it helps so many of our disabled and so many of our dependent residents in this here country of ours, wouldn't we want to value that system so much that we make sure that it is running efficient and effectively? I mean, if it is helping and supporting our most vulnerable citizens, isn't it our responsibility to make sure this system is solvent and it works and it's efficient and no one's taking advantage of it or taking advantage of our seniors or our disabled? Isn't that a common sense solution? Isn't that just common fucking sense? No, not the Democrats. Once again, they're booing, but you can't explain how all these names, all these people are still in the Social Security database. Even if they're not receiving money, they still do not need to be in a database because it leaves an opportunity for exploitation, I'm sorry.
3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Right. No need for Maha. No need for Make America Healthy Again. We're doing quite well. This is just crazy.
For decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer.
Well, the Democrats pissed off
over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are in effect receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer.
Just makes sense. America
Thanks
first.
to our America
Please.
First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election.
Now I want y'all to notice, like, these people are not even going to stand up for over $1 trillion of new investment into America. You know what that means for America? That means jobs for their constituents. That means getting them off of Medicaid and getting them employed and getting them private insurance where they're getting serious good care. But they say they're concerned about the Medicaid. They're concerned about Social Security. They're concerned about these things. Now just imagine, why aren't you people concerned about the potential and the possibility of your constituents being able to provide for themselves? Should be jumping up and cheering for over $1 trillion of new investment money coming into our country. But again, the losers left, the losing lefties, they can't do it. They can't be happy for anything that helps America. I mean, they so hate this country.
And our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
Right here in the USA. Now, I don't understand how the Democratic leadership hears this progress and not go prepare their constituencies for what's happening. I mean, if you really was concerned, if you really was serving your constituency, you would go there and you would show them the opportunities that this administration has created, and you would start preparing them to take advantage of those opportunities. Like, for instance, most of those chips are going to be made in Arizona. Now, who's ever the Arizona congressional leaders, who's ever their Senate, their senatorial leaders, who's ever in their government, they need to be prepping their population to fulfill these jobs that's going to be needed to service these semiconductor chips. Like, why aren't you preparing your community, your constituents for the opportunities that lies ahead? Why are you trying to keep them latched on to these social programs that's being provided by our government? Why don't you tell them the magnitude of the opportunities that lies ahead of them? Like, whoa, you can actually go from getting government aid, from getting government subsidies, from getting SNAP subsidies, from going that, to absolutely 100% being capable and able of taking care of you and your own family. Because these are going to be high-paying jobs. And they don't have to be a high-paying job. A $7.75 an hour job pays more than SSI, pays more than welfare, pays more than unemployment, pays more than SNAP. All these resources, just work a job, you're going to be better. But God forbid, this man is getting good jobs. Good job and good career investment dollars into the American economy. No longer is jobs being exploited or exported out of our country. Now jobs are being imported into our country. Now chips that's been made in Taiwan will be made in America. Thanks to Trump tariff policies. Like, I don't understand why you're mad at this and why you're not looking at the opportunity of it for your constituencies. If you're really servicing your constituency, you should be down there in these places. I mean, I think Microsoft is building Not Microsoft. I'm sorry. I think Apple, with its $500 billion commitment, is going to build manufacturing plants in Indiana and Iowa and all of these places. All these are going to build huge manufacturing plants. These are career-defining, paying jobs, y'all. Why none of these Democratic leaders is down there telling them people why you're not creating opportunities, why you're not fast tracking educational programs, why you're not trying to get people certifications in this type of manufacturing processes and this type of thing, why you're not getting them educated in technology, because you see the technology is where the next investment, you see the investment in America is hugely around technological infrastructure and technological growth. So why you're not preparing your constituency to take advantage of this huge opportunity?
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Look at all these white supremacists. Look at all these racists. Look at their face. Look at that. They looking at this little black boy in admiration and compassion. But this is supposed to be the racist part. But the Republicans are supposed to be the racists, the white supremacists. And look, this is genuine compassion. Man, wake up, wake up, wake up, America.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, come on, man, to make this little boy dreams come true in a congressional speech. That's somebody who's in tune with the common American. Like, and guess what? No Democratic applause. Come on, the inclusive party, the party of inclusivity. No applaud, no nothing, no congratulations, no good job, young man, no good one, President Trump. That was good, man. What you just did for this young man, man. You probably gave him the will and the motivation to live another 6 years, to live another 6 years. You just gave this man hope coming from a hopeless situation. This is what our president's supposed to look and sound like. But I bet you any money, there's no Democratic applause.
As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
The people talking safety. Sound like safety and security to
America
me.
is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
See, this is... Come on, Democrats. Y'all can't even applaud that we just apprehended the person who's responsible for killing 13 Americans and wounding several more. You don't even want to applaud the success in that. This happened a couple of years ago. This person wasn't found. He wasn't apprehended under you guys' leadership. You can't even applaud that we just got another dangerous person off the planet or out. Y'all are tripping, man. Come on, man. We gotta do better.
I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter. Just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
All right, y'all, we're gonna end it. All right, y'all. We're gonna end that. That was long, y'all. It's almost an hour long. It's almost an hour so far in this video. So we're gonna try to make the rest of this video short because we got to get the Democratic response in because it's absolutely crazy. And I wanted to end that address to the joint session of the U.S. Congress. I really was getting that last party in to show you that when you hear this Democratic response, you're gonna hear from Bernie Mac and from I think the Michigan congressional woman, I think the Democratic Party had her lead the response. You're going to hear from these two liberal-leaning people, and you're going to hear platitudes, slogans. You're not going to hear no plan. You're not going to hear no progress. You're only going to hear what Trump is doing wrong. There will be no narrative or no conversation or no talk or no speech about what he's doing right. And I only make this point, and I ended that video here before I get into their response, because I only wanted to show you the point of what Trump came in and told you what happened tonight. I mean, you progress towards peace in the Ukrainian and Russian war. You got a letter from Zelensky today, prepared to sign the minimal rights form. I mean, prepared to sign the minimal rights agreement, prepared to negotiate peace with Russia. You got the leader in the ISIS terrorist group apprehended today who's responsible for the death of 13 fellow Americans. This all what you did today before you came to do this 2-hour congressional speech. Now, when we get to the Democrats, watch how they outlined everything wrong, everything need to get fixed. Watch how they did none of this in over 4 years, and over 20 years, and over 100 years, for crying out loud. Probably not 100, but laying close to 90, 95. I say since the New Deal, the Democratic Party has lost their way. So you're going to see that how Trump accomplishes more in one day that they done done in nearly a fucking century. And it's going to be so drastic. It's crazy. So let's get to.
This is where people believe that if you work hard and play by the rules, you should do well and your kids should do better. It needs to be more responsive to their needs. America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way. And we can make that change without forgetting who we are as a country and as a democracy. So that's what I'm going to lay out tonight. Because whether you're from middle class is the engine of our country, that strong national security protects us from harm, and that our democracy, no matter how messy, is unparalleled and worth fighting for. Let's start with the economy. Michigan literally invented the middle class, the revolutionary idea that you could work at an auto plant and afford the car you were building. That's the American dream. And in order to expand and protect the middle class, we have to do a few basic things. We need to bring down the price of things we spend the most money on: groceries, housing, healthcare. We need to make more things in America with good-paying union jobs and bring our supply chains back.
See, that's the distinction. We need to create more jobs in America with good union-led jobs. See, this caused the exodus of manufacturing in America, the unions. It's not merit-based, it's seniority-based. You can't create a sustainable, efficient manufacturing base being led by unions. It has to be individual meritocracy. You can't have 2 good workers protecting 30 bad workers because they're part of a union. No, and trust me, I've been part of some of the biggest unions with some of the greatest benefits of all time, and I have personally witnessed people in those unions based on seniority And when it's time for layoff, because the union have so much corporate capture in the company that the company can't even fucking really make a profit because there's so many fucking demands made by the union. I have seen those companies have to come to the harsh reality of layoffs. And I have seen people who are beyond their pension age, beyond qualifying for their 401ks, just based on seniority, stay. And the people who are younger, who are contributing more, who are producing more in the company have to get cut because these people want to stay another year or two to collect a higher percentage of their pensions. That's what's corrupt about unions, guys. There's no individual meritocracy in it. You have a handful of good, hardworking, productive individuals protecting the lives and livelihoods of everybody else who's not contributing, who's not stepping up. Come on, y'all. We got to earn our way. And this is their solution, to create more unions. And while you're talking about we need to get more manufacturing jobs in America, Trump just announced over $1 trillion worth of new manufacturing investment. So once again, what you guys are saying we need to do, he's actually doing it. You're going to hear that theme continuously in this Democratic response. Everything she's saying we need to do, we need to be doing, or we should have been doing, and it's what all Americans want. You're going to see Trump is already delivering on that. He's not on stage, not talking about what need to happen. He's making shit what's happening, then explaining to you why we need it to do this. It's a different approach. One approach is serving your own interests, and the other approach, Donald Trump approach, is serving the interests of the American people. Let's go.
Home from places like China. We need to give American businesses the certainty they need to invest and create the jobs of the future.
I really want this to play because I want this video to be over, but I'm telling you, it's just mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing. Like, how, after you just witnessed that speech, all the success this man outlined, how do you get up and respond to him saying that what we need and what you're doing is two separate things? What we need and what he's doing are exactly what the fuck? What the fuck, man? He just outlined over $1 trillion of manufacturing investment back into America to create jobs, good paying jobs. And here you is up here again with platitudes and slogans saying what we need, but not addressing how it get done. Because if you address what we need to do to get done, y'all plan to start sounding a little MAGA-ish. Because there's only one way to get it done, and that's through the common sense revolution. But you people so anti-American, anti-common sense, that you just can't get it, man. I mean, you people are out of touch, completely detached from the common American. Let's go, yeah.
And we need a tax system that's fair for people who don't happen to make $1 billion. Look, the president talked a big...
You can't have a fair tax system for 99% of the population and then target 1% of the population. The only way a tax system can be fair is everybody pays taxes. Because the truth of the matter is the top 1% pay a higher percentage of taxes than any other bracket. That's always been the case. But yet you have these losing woke lefty liberals everywhere, propagating everywhere, just kicking the propaganda. Just you have them everywhere, just kicking this fucking flute, this garbage out to the American people and to their constituents that the top 1% is not paying their fair share. No, they're making up the bulk of tax collections. And if you really pro-American, if you really for your constituencies, you will want to address the disparity in this tax, in the taxation. Because if you wanted to address the disparity in this taxation, you will understand that these top 1%ers are creating 70, 80% of all the job opportunities that exist. So why would you want to overly tax the sector that's responsible for the growth? This is why it's important we have a fair tax system. Because if you really want the wealthy and the rich to pay their fair share or to contribute, then you will let their business grow and expand so they can give out more opportunities. And we can compete on a global scale with China, with Russia, whoever, India, whoever. We can compete with these countries if we focus on expansion and growth and not hindrance and slogans. Like, just stop it, man.
Game on the economy, but it's always important to read the fine print. So, do his plans actually help Americans get ahead? Not even close. President Trump is trying to deliver an unprecedented giveaway to his billionaire friends. He's on the hunt to find trillions of dollars to pass along to the wealthiest in America.
So, here we go again. This is what I mean. Platitudes and slogans, man, they're professional at it, man. I've never seen such a huge group of people who can draw your attention for 30 or 40 minutes and say absolutely nothing to you. Like, that's how good they are in platitudes and slogans. Because you would think that she just said something meaningful. But she didn't. Like, what is the alternative? Like, can you please outline to us what's the Democrat? What is the Democratic plan? Like, could you please explain to me, like, what is the plan of the Democrats? Please let me know, like, what are you guys playing? Like, if you guys are saying that Trump is wrecking shit and he's not fixing shit and helping shit, what is y'all playing? Y'all just gonna sit up here and tell us shit broke? You're not gonna tell us at all how to fix it? You're just gonna keep outlining all the broken shit, and at no point you're gonna offer us a way to fix it. Stop with the nonsense, please.
And to do that, he's going to make you pay in every part of your life. Grocery and home prices are going up, not down, and he hasn't laid out a credible plan to deal with either of those. His tariffs on allies like Canada will raise prices on energy, lumber, and cars, and start a trade war that will hurt manufacturing and farmers. Your premiums and prescriptions will cost more because the math on his proposals doesn't work without going after your health care. Meanwhile, for those keeping score, the national debt is going up, not down. And if he's not careful, he could walk us right into a recession. And one more thing. In order to pay for his plan, he could very well come after your retirement, the Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits you worked your whole life to earn. The president
just fear-mongering. Like, all these people can sit up and tell you, like, what's at stake? What are you guys going to lose? What are you guys going to lose? First off, you can't sit up here and tell me I have so much to lose when I have so little. Stop fucking sitting up here and telling us that we have so much to lose, that Donald Trump is fin to fucking destroy us, and you talking about all he's finna do is cut a fucking Social Security check and some Medicaid. That's not a lot to lose. The average person on Social Security gets $900 a month. And in Medicaid, there's low income qualifications where you can't even, if you get Medicaid, you damn near got to relinquish your right to the American dream. To receive these entitlements and programs, you got to relinquish your right to the American dream. No one's telling you that. These Democrats, these woke ass, left ass liberals is not telling you that. That when you when you get enrolled in these programs, these Social Security programs, these Medicaid programs, your income threshold is limited. So you can't make over, in Wisconsin, I think you can't make over $1,500, $1,900 a month to qualify for Medicaid. So where's the incentive out there for me to go get a good, great paying job to take care of my family, because I don't want to lose our health care? These government entitlement programs are opportunity robbers. They're making you relinquish your right to participate in the American dream, in an American future. They're making you compromise. They're restricting your capabilities and your possibilities. These programs is not helping. They are hurting. They are hindering you. Please detach yourself from any form of government dependence. I mean, the government is not a corporation. The government does not produce products that produces value. So they can't guarantee that they can keep taking care of you. And if they did guarantee it, they're going to guarantee it. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to rob Paul to pay Peter. This is the only way you people can receive Medicaid and SSI and Medicare. And just for the record, all these people that is receiving SSI checks, these 70 million Americans, all these people are not disabled. And all these people are not elder. Trust me, I know a lot of people who have schemed and scammed for SSI. Because the threshold is not high to qualify for SSI. You got people in the black community. I'm not even saying the black community. You got people in the hoods putting their kids on SSI. And I looked this up. It's over 1.2 million kids receiving Social Security that are qualified as disabled. And I'm not talking about being qualified because you have autism or you're blind or you're deaf or you're handicapped. I'm not talking this type of disability. I'm talking about, I got ADHD. I can't concentrate at school. I'm bad at school. I have problem learning. I have this. They are diagnosing these kids to get them an SSI check. So what they're doing is they are hindering the own potential of their kids by labeling them as troublemakers, as dumb, as disabled. And I'm talking about some of these kids are qualifying for SSI at the age of 4 or 5 years old for you even determine whether a disability exists. These parents seeing a financial opportunity and scamming the system to put their kids on here, not even understanding the hurt and harm they're causing their kids by having them labeled as disabled or mentally challenged and all this crap, man, before they mental even develops. So now you're stempling these kids, and what's pissed off is that these politicians know this is happening and they're all right with it. As long as we give them their vote, they can give a fuck less about our situation. And it's so obvious because she's going to continue on with these platitudes, with these slogans, and she's not going to offer not one plan or not one strategic or one tactical move that the Democratic Party is making now to counter all this garbage that Trump is pushing into the American society right now. She's not going to offer one counter move. I guarantee you. She's not going to offer one. Yes, she is. She's going to tell you guys what y'all need to be doing. Y'all need to be organized and protesting. Professional protesters. That's going to be her solution to all these problems she outlined. Listen, y'all, listen to what her solution is to all these problems she outlined.
He claims he won't, but Elon Musk just called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
Of course it is. I just described to you what's happening here. Of course it's a Ponzi scheme. All right.
While we're on the subject of Elon Musk, is there anyone in America who is comfortable with him and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, your health information, and your bank accounts? No oversight, no protections against cyber attack, no guardrails on what they do with your private data. We need a more efficient government.
And first off, if these people are proficient computer hackers, like if they wanted your data, you couldn't stop them from getting your data. The question should be like, what do Elon Musk and these 19 and 20-year-old computer geniuses, because I want you to understand these computer geniuses, they're already millionaires and everything already. These is just not some nerd, awkward nerd dude that sits in a dark room all day and just sits on his computer all day and learn hacking and coding and all this. No, these are successful young computer programmers. So if they had any ill intent, you would have felt that a long time ago. But this is another scare tactic by the Democratic Party. Now, because they have access to your information, we don't want the system to change. We don't want nobody fixing it because now privacy is at stake. You people have access to our information. If I'm going to be worried, I'm going to be worried what you're going to do with that information. Why would I be worried about Elon Musk stealing my SSI check? This man worth $400 million. Okay, yeah. I guess $900 more a month goes a long way for him. Y'all, so ridiculous.
You want to cut waste? I'll help you do it. But change doesn't need to be chaotic or make us less safe.
This is another point of how detached they is from regular Americans. Because this is what we voted for. We voted for a sledgehammer. We did not vote for kindness and gentleness no more. Like Donald Trump said, woke shit is over. No more kinder and gentler. Velvet gloves is off. We want a wrecking ball. Go straight to that shit, because if you don't go straight to it, you will never get to it. But I wonder what they're trying to protect. I bet they're trying to protect their own I bet you their own financial interest is tied into Doge. The whole thing. I bet you any money. I guarantee you, man. I bet you if Doge was, he said on Joe Rogan, like, they probably kill him if he really exposed the level of corruption. So I don't want to get Doge killed, but I'm sure, man, a lot of those programs that Donald Trump outlined in his speech, man, I'm quite sure a lot of that money is going into a lot of these politicians' pocket. And I bet you Doge can get to who and when and where. He's just trying to figure out if it's worth his life. And it's crazy that he was on Joe Rogan saying that, because the first thought came to my mind when I heard him say that, like, wow. Because if he's scared for his life and the richest man in the world, like, if these people can get to him, just imagine the level and nature of their power. Just imagine, y'all. If you can scare Elon Musk, I'm quite sure he has some of the highest qualified security personnel in the world. If you can make him hesitate, man, you people are really, really, really powerful, corrupt, dangerous, sinister, evil people. I want y'all to understand, like, this is the nature of this crap.
The mindless firing of people who work to protect our nuclear weapons, keep our planes from crashing, and conduct the research that finds the cure for cancer, only to rehire them 2 days later? No CEO in America could do that without being summarily fired. Okay, so we've talked about economic security. How about national security? Let's start with the border. As someone who spent my whole career protecting our homeland, every country deserves to know who and what is coming across its border. Period. Democrats and Republicans should all be for that. But securing the border without actually fixing our broken immigration system is dealing with the symptom and not the disease.
Come on, my fellow Americans. Tell me y'all see the ridiculousness of this statement. Like, that is so crazy to me. Like, closing our borders up is dealing with the symptom and not the disease. So the disease is the judicial system that's supposed to process these. The disease ain't millions and millions of criminals and rapists and sex traffickers and drugs that's coming over our border. This is not the disease. The disease is the broken immigration judicial system. Get the fuck out of here. That is not the disease. The disease is what's happening in the streets of America. The disease is what's happening to these girls that's being raped and killed. The disease is what's being happening to over 300 million. Sorry about that. Over 300,000 Americans dying tonight over fentanyl. Dying yearly over with fentanyl. That's the disease. And if you want to cure the disease, you stop the border crossing. Once again, just got your priorities fucked up, young lady.
America is a nation of immigrants. We need a functional system keyed to the needs of our economy that allows vetted people to come and work here legally. So I look forward to the president's plan on that.
He just announced his plan on that. The gold card. Hey. So if you want to come over here and work legally, it's gonna cost you $5 million. And you gotta pay taxes over here. And you gotta produce jobs over here. Come on, man. This plan seems a lot better than y'all, and it'll be rolling out in the next week or two. So it's not talk, it's actually action.
Because here's the thing. Today's world is deeply interconnected. Migration, cyber threats, AI, environmental destruction, terrorism. One nation cannot face these issues alone. We need friends in all.
One nation has been facing these issues alone. This is why Trump is renegotiating the structure of all our international relationships, because you motherfuckers have been bending us over and fucking us in the ass for generations. Y'all have been marching us all across the world, being a global police, getting our young men and women killed for someone else's sovereignty, for someone else's democracy, while all the time we're losing sovereignty and democracy at home. We out over the world fighting for these things and we're losing it at home. Y'all need to get y'all shit together, man. Y'all need to come and talk to some real Americans, man, if y'all gonna ever get a message or an agenda together that's absolutely 100% pro-American, because right now y'all agenda is anti-American, anti-democracy, anti-progress, just all of these things. Like, you people like hate America. You guys are evil, man. And y'all don't give a fuck. In that pursuit, y'all don't give a fuck who get hurt. Y'all own constituents is y'all number one victims. And y'all don't give a fuck. Because y'all think y'all bigger than them, y'all smarter than them, y'all think that they is nothing without y'all, so y'all got to just lead them by their hands like they your kids, like they your pets. Yeah, I'm talking about black folk, Latino folks. I'm talking about the whole constituency of the Democratic Party, man. It's being led by ideas and personal principles, ain't being led by policies and progress at all.
Corners, and our safety depends on it. President Trump loves to say peace through strength. That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan. But let me tell you, after the spectacle that just took place in the Oval Office last week, Reagan must be rolling in his grave.
No, Reagan just heard the letter Zelensky wrote Trump last night advocating for peace and is willing to accept Trump leadership role in negotiating this peace. So whatever debacle that happened in the White House the other day, it led to results. So now it might be more probable than ever that we end up with peace and prosperity back in Ukraine. But of course, you people don't want that, because you know you're getting crazy kickbacks. I'm talking about it's tens and tens of billions of dollars that have been unaccounted for, that Zelensky never received, that's been allocated and appropriated from Congress and from President Biden, and no one received it. So of course you guys are getting it. So of course you guys don't mind if this war continues, because of course you guys getting paid from it. Why these people are losing their fucking lives, man. No one cares about people dying anymore. All they care about is their values, is the American values and principles be exploited or exported around the world. You don't give a fuck about how many people die in that cause? Obviously not, because y'all been doing it for generations. to export y'all ideas, y'all woke ideas. Y'all have been willing to kill, demolish opposition. Because there's nowhere in the world the first priority of anybody shouldn't be to get that war ended, to get them lives saved. That's a principled president.
We all want an end to the war in Ukraine, but Reagan understood that true strength required America to combine our military and economic might with moral clarity. And that scene in the Oval Office wasn't just a bad episode of reality TV. It summed up Trump's whole approach to the world. He believes in cozying up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions. As a Cold War kid, I'm thankful it was Reagan and not Trump in office in the 1980s. Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Donald Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation. He clearly doesn't think we should lead the world. Look, America.
Oh my God. Did y'all just hear what she said? I know this video is taking tremendously long to get through. But she just think that Trump doesn't believe that that we are a tremendous nation, that we shouldn't be leading all the world. Trump most definitely believes we are a tremendous nation, who's most definitely should not be concerned with the world, but be concerned with ourselves to make sure we stay tremendous. That's the difference in ideology. Let's go.
America is not perfect, but I stand with the majority of Americans who believe we are still exceptional, unparalleled. And I would rather have American leadership over Chinese or Russian leadership any day of the week. Because for generations, America has offered something better. Our security and our prosperity, yes, but our democracy, our very system of government, has been the aspiration of the world. And right now, it's at risk. It's at risk when the president decides you can pick and choose what rules you want to follow, when he ignores court orders and the Constitution itself, or when elected leaders stand by and just let it happen. But it's also at risk when the president pits Americans against each other, when he demonizes those who are different and tells certain people they shouldn't be included. Because America is not just a patch of land between two oceans. We are more than that. Generations have fought and died to secure the fundamental rights that define us. Those rights and the fight for them make us who we are. We're a nation of strivers, risk takers, innovators, and we are never satisfied. That is America's superpower.
That describes Trump's presidency. Thank you for that one.
And look, I've lived and worked in many countries. I've seen democracy. A lot of you have been asking that question. First, don't tune out. It's easy to be exhausted, but America needs you now more than ever. If previous generations had not fought for this democracy, where would we be today? Second, hold your elected officials, including me, accountable. Watch how they're voting. Go to town halls and demand they take action. That's as American as apple pie. Third, organize. Pick just one issue you're passionate about and engage. And doom scrolling doesn't count. Join a group that cares about your issue and act. And if you can't find one, start one. Some of the most important movements in our history have come from the bottom up. In closing, we all know that our country is going through something right now. We're not sure what the next day is going to hold.
Yeah, we're going through the golden age. That's what we're going through.
Let alone the next decade. But this isn't the first time we've experienced significant and tumultuous change as a country. I'm a student of history, and we've gone through periods of political instability before. And ultimately, we've chosen to keep changing this country for the better. But every single time, we've only gotten through those moments because of two things: engaged citizens and principled leaders. Engaged citizens who do a little bit more than they're used to doing to fight for the things that they care about, and principled leaders who are ready to receive the ball and do something about it. So thank you tonight for caring about your country. Just by watching, you qualify as engaged citizens. And I promise that I and my fellow Democrats will do everything in our power to be the principled leaders that you deserve. Good night, everyone.
Now, I know y'all heard all that crap, and I know this has been long, so we're gonna go right into Bernie Sanders. He's just basically just outlining Trump lies. So he's gonna say Trump is a liar, and if he say a lie over and over again, people start to believe it, which outlines the Democratic Party in their partnership with Legacy Media outlines it perfectly well. But I just want you to just hear this point where he says, after the presidential speech, he says all the lies that Trump is telling, but watch how he points out no lie from the speech. Watch how he go back into 2020 election. Watch he go back into January 6th. Watch he go back into all this shit. He's not going to say Trump lying about nothing he said in the congressional chamber, with the exception of one thing, that people 100 or 300 years old is not receiving Social Security checks. Other than that, he's not going to even address the presidential speech. He's going to go back into the archives to discredit Trump. Like, this is what I'm telling you. These people have no momentum, no mission, no message. So all they can do is complain. It's usually the makeup of very consistent complainers. They always have no momentum, no motive, no mission, and no message. As always.
The big lie, and boy, did we hear that tonight. You say something that is grossly false, say it over and over again, and have right-wing social media blast it out endless times until people actually believe it. And then, rather than address the real issues facing the American people, the struggles that the American people are facing, we find ourselves wasting endless amounts of time discussing Trump's absurdities. Let me just give you a very few examples. Trump claimed that the 2020 election was stolen from him and that he won by a landslide. Remember that? A lie.
Dude, what the fuck is you talking about what he said in 2020, man? What the fuck? This is 2025, man. He just set up a whole agenda in the congressional chambers. And you're not going to address none of that? Why you not calling none of those things a lie? Why you not calling the progress he made with the Ukrainian and Russian peace talks? Why you not calling that a lie? Why you not calling the apprehension of the ISIS terrorist leader? Why that's not a lie? Why not the $1 trillion investment he got into American manufacturing jobs? Why is that not a lie? Why is DEI is hurting our country? Why, when he said no more DEI and how it's hurting our country, why is that not a lie? Why is there be no more discriminatory policies, no more discrimination in our country? Why is you not saying he's lying about those things? Why aren't you going into the archives to say what he's lying about? I don't get it. You should have been outlining the shit that he said at the speech as lies. But of course you can't, because they're not lies. And you guys can't compete with progress. You can't.
Trump claimed that the January 6th insurrection was a day of love. A lie. Trump has claimed that millions of undocumented people voted and do vote in American elections. A lie. Trump has claimed that climate change is a hoax originating in China. A lie. Trump has claimed that Ukraine started the horrific war with Russia. A lie. And tonight, just tonight, Trump claimed that millions of dead people between the ages of 100 and 360, I guess, were collecting Social Security checks. And that is an outrageous lie intended to lay the groundwork for cuts to Social Security and dismantling the most successful and popular government program in history.
See, the most successful and popular program in government history. I want to talk to my black folks right now because black people, do y'all understand? Not just black folks, just Latino folks, just any group of people that is finding it hard to get the fuck up and get on their feet, man. And who's relying on these government subsidies, these government entitlement programs to keep them alive. Don't you know that the reliance of these entitlement programs automatically cuts you off at the knees? It automatically disables you and hinders you from reaching your potential. Because you can't receive these safety net programs and these safety net entitlement without being poor. So the moment you get any success, the moment you stop qualifying for these programs, but you're so dependent on these programs, the dependency of these programs prohibit you guys for going out there chasing y'all dreams. I mean, you guys don't know how many people who I didn't offer jobs to, and they was like, is it in cash? Because I don't want to fuck up my SSI check. No, it's not in cash. It's a legitimate job, and it pays you 10 times more than your SSI check. I don't know, man. I can't be fucking up my SSI, man. That SSI for sure. That the type of mindset that is prevalent within these communities that I just described. Like this is what's prevalent. Like this is all over us. This is all in our culture. It's all in our minds. It's all in us. It's all in our communities. Like this shit is just covering us. This evilness is just covering us. We gotta get off the government tick. All right, John.
So let's be clear about that. Well over 99 checks are going out to people who earned those checks. 70 million Americans.
70 million Americans didn't earn those checks. I'm telling you that now, Mr. Sanders. I can promise you that. I know a lot of people who did not earn those SSI checks, who probably never worked a good 4 or 5 year span in their entire existence, but who's been on SSI for decades. So get the fuck out of here telling me people earn that. But that's enough for the Democratic response. So we're going to cut this guy short, and we're going to get to the ending because this thing is going on too long. Yeah, so now you see the stark distinction between a doer and a talker. Got the Democrats, once again, filled with rhetoric, and you got President Donald Trump filled with results. Like, come on, people. And just because I said I was going to touch on it, I'm going to put this in the video too, because I do have a clip of the Congressman Al Green, who got kicked out of the Congress chambers for video of Congressman Al Green after he got removed from the congressional chambers, y'all. Listen to his reason for disrespecting the President of the United States.
So what were you shouting to the President?
The President said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the President that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been so helpful to so many people.
See, this is what I mean. This is easily my point. Like you did all that, man, just to protect these entitlement programs that are harming at a disalarming rate. That is harming your constituents. You're saying your constituency, the majority of your constituency depend on these programs. Why are they dependent on $900 a month? And then what type of leader are you where you don't want to make them undependent on these entitlement programs? Like, I mean, what is your constituency? Nursing homes? Get the fuck out of here, man. I bet you, man, a huge part of your constituency, man, are people who are capable of working a fucking job. Why not you working with Donald Trump to get some of these trillions of investment dollars brought into your constituency? Create opportunities in your town, in your state, in your district. Why isn't that what you doing right now? Why are you sitting there yelling and complaining about him cutting entitlement programs who does nothing but harm your constituency? Why aren't you being a true public service and seeing how you can get some of this wealth that's being created brought down to your district, to your constituency, so they're not reliant on government to survive? They're relying on themselves to survive, man. The true doctrine of a constitutional republic is that, man, the ability and liberty to self-determine, man. Won't you guys, especially, man, you guys of a brown nature, of a black nature, man, why don't you start advocating, man, for self-determination, for accountability, for responsibility? Like, why ain't none of you guys advocating for that? Why ain't none of you guys not coming to us like, man, listen, man, these programs that we're doing, this reliance on government ain't doing nothing but harming and hurting us. Man, we need men of capable age. We need women of capable stature to stand up, man, and be held accountable for your life and what happens to your kids' future. Nowhere in the world you can be honest with these people and tell these people you can protect their kids' future by utilizing the government. You can't. Because you don't even understand the future of the American government. Come on, y'all. Wake up, y'all. Let's get it together, man. That's enough of this video. This video is almost 2 hours long. I don't know how I'm editing it, but I gotta get it down to that because I know ain't none of y'all gonna view it if I do that, and I really want y'all to view it because there's really some great points that need to be made and some great conversations that need to be had surrounding all this crazy shit that's going on. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna get on up out of here. I'm gonna check out of here, man. I'm gonna be back at y'all, man, same time next week, man. So y'all rock with your boy, man. Like us. And if y'all rock with y'all boy, man, come on, like, subscribe to this video, man. Subscribe to this channel, man, so we can grow this channel, man, so we can grow this conversation, man. And y'all already know my mantra, man. Stay out your body, man. Get in your spirit. It's where your potential at. And just for so you know, man, your boy Big Meaty is a general in this common sense revolution, man. So let go.